Hello everyone, welcome to Elliott Wave Forex.com YouTube channel. Today is September the 15th. So today's start of the day is oil. This is like crude oil 60 minutes time frame here. Now we can see oil has been very strong after the OPEC Plus decision, right, to basically maintain the production cut. Rally has been impulsive. I think there's no question about that. And we are calling the current rally to finish with 3 here. It's kind of already stretched out. So in other words, I think chasing in the shorter cycle can get quite risky here, even though we still might see another leg higher to finish with 505. But so we got this 1 2 3 4, now looking to finish with 5. But again, I think caution is needed here, especially if you're planning to chase, since we might be finished, with 3 anytime now and do a bigger pullback. Now I think what is more important, or what is more interesting, is to find out whether this current rally here is going to be a major top or it's not going to be done. Based on this current outlook now, the current count, basically we are looking for more upside above 77.7. So yes, we might start to see with for pullback anytime. For example, I might change the count like this, for example, right? So you can play around with the count like this. If you want to, you can do this, and then suddenly you finish here, all right, and then you start seeing a bigger pullback. But the more important question is whether or not, even if we see a larger degree pullback, whether or not this is going to be a major high, or it's going to continue higher. And in this case, we are still calling for more upside above 77.7. So even if we are going to start with 4 sometime soon, it's going to be still favoring more upside. Now with 4, typically an Elliott wave is going to end somewhere between 23.6 38.2, but we still don't know where wave 3 is going to end. It's an impulse. You don't pick the top in an impulse, right? That's just a very trading 101, right? You don't pick the top. Trying to pick the top in an impulse is just especially if you're trying to fade it, it's just a very, very bad idea. All right, so I don't know where the wave 3 is going to end now. So let's assume it ends here. Then basically you're looking at this around this area here, typically 86.2, 88 to finish with 4. Again, it depends where wave 3 is going to end before you can do this analysis. Okay. All right. So then the next one that we want to talk about is in the larger time frame. I'm looking at the daily here. Now pay attention to the location of the 3 and 4 and 2. So here I give it to you 3 and 4. So we're still calling for a bit more upside, right, in the 1 hour to finish with 3 before we cut off 4. So on the daily, a little bit more upside to finish 3, and this is 4, and then that means this is your 1 2. So you notice here, if you count the number of swing from the May 4, right, from the May 4 here, now you actually have interesting structure here, right? Because you got this 1 2, this is very clear, 1 2, right? It's a 1 2, and then you got another 1 2, and then you get another higher. Now you might be asking, well, is it possible that this is actually 1 2 3 4 and then this is a 5? Because if that is, then technically you will get not just a wave 4 and a 5, right? Not just a wave 4 and a 5, but you can finish this entire 5 waves up from May 4 and then suddenly do at least a major 3 pullback, right? You can correct this entire 5 waves, and we can easily go to 50%, let's say, back to like 77, right? Now, even though it is always possible, I mean, we cannot say that is a zero possibility. Trading is always going to have a possibility, but we need to talk about what will be the more likely scenario. So first of all, usually in Elliott wave theory, right, when you want to call it as a wave 5, typically you will lose the momentum. In other words, the relative strength index is going to have a lower high. Now here, if you look at the RSI, we are still at the peak in the RSI. This is telling you most likely, again, it's all probability, most likely this is not a wave 5 from the lows. That's why most likely this is actually some sort of a nest So you have another 1-2 in a higher degree here, and then you got another 1-2 again. So in other words, we are now still within this wave 3 to the upside. So once you get a 4 and a 5, then that 4 and a 5 is going to be ending only 3 with another 4 to 5 to come. So in other words, you're still going to have a lot more upside left still at this point, because the RSI again still not showing any significant divergence right now compared to the previous peak here. So the RSI is also making a high while the price is making high. So it conforms to the strength that we see in the price action. So that's basically the idea. So for now, as long as back on the 1 hour and summarizing what we like. So the idea here is very simple, not to necessarily go into all this little swing that it has to be making a little bit more upside and then pull back, and then just this one is not really that important, which is a lot of people don't understand. What is really important here is the idea that this level is important, 77.7, and we think that as long as we don't break below 77.7, any 3-year pullback, right? Any 3-year pullback should find support and extend higher. Now again, the chart here is not necessarily saying, hey guys, this wave 3 has to end at 91 and it has to drop to 86. No, it is saying that this cycle, which is your wave 3, can be ending soon because it's kind of stretch, and then we will get a 3-year pullback around 23.6, 38.2% retracement of wave 3. Then as long as this level again is holding, we should go higher again. Okay, so as always, if you want to get more updates on oil or any other commodities, Forex, indices, feel free to check our service. We have 14 days trial and the link is in the description of the video. I'll see you all again next time and have a nice day, everyone.